Hey, good afternoon to everybody. Happy Thursday. It's Daryl here. It's not so bright and early. It's 3:30 p.m. here in Connecticut on the East Coast. There's a good chance you're going to be watching this Friday morning. I might wait till tomorrow morning to download this video. So if that's the case, happy Friday. It is bright and early, 3:30 a.m. if you're watching a Friday morning. Those of you that watch my channel, you know what I'm talking about. Man, I wish I got 3 days to go before I can come out of timeout like a good boy, before my suspension is up. And I wish, man, I've come across such good stories. I wish I could download this on my main channel, like the Britney Spears video I did yesterday. That was a heartfelt video that's one of the videos where I actually, a lot of the stuff that it was a lot of personal stuff. It was a heartfelt video, and it's racked up quite a few views. It's one of the videos that I wish I had put on my main channel. I wish I could have put on my main channel, Artist in Recovery. And this is going to be another one because I have some ideas about this. This is a video. It's a golfer losing his mind. I'm going to make an assumption here that this man doesn't have any mental health issues, okay? Because he seems to be in control of his faculties and well-spoken up until he loses it. This video has made the rounds, man. It started just in the last day or two. It started on TikTok, and now it went to Reddit, and then it went to Instagram, and people all over the place. It's gone viral, and people all over the place are talking about it, and now it's on YouTube. And I wish to God I could have put it on my other channel, Artist in Recovery. It's one of those videos. Okay. I'm going to say this too, and I guarantee every time I say this, there's this one or two guys that say, oh, you're bragging, you didn't, why are you bragging that you got in fights? That's not what I'm bragging about. I'm not bragging. I'm sharing my thoughts. For those of you that don't know me, I've been clean and sober for 17 years. I was a full-blown, hardcore heroin junkie and crackhead, for 2.5 decades of my life. And I spent a lot of my time in after-hours clubs, what you call biker clubs or stuff like that. 81, if that rings a bell. And I've got my nose broke. I broke my fingers, my nose. I've broken a lot of things, and I live a much more peaceful life now. If I can, I prefer to walk away. One thing I learned in recovery, and I hope you guys don't get bored of hearing this, that this has helped me so many times throughout recovery through the last 17 years. I learned that I cannot change what other people are going to do or what they're going to say. They're going to do, it's not my job to teach somebody a lesson. It's not my job to correct their behavior. I can't change what other people are going to do or say. I can only change the way that I react to them. And it might seem silly to some people, but that has helped me so much over the last 17 years. Okay. Here, this is the video. Like I said, it's going to be the link down below. It's going to be right to the TikTok video, and I urge you guys to watch it, and then watch my video, then watch the link down below and what I'm actually talking about, and then come back and watch my video again and comment on it. That's the ideal sequence of events that I recommend. Okay, so the general idea here, I don't know where this video was taken. I looked into the background, like I was trying to see. I got several links: Daily Mail, Golfer Digest, TMZ, and none of them say where this golf course is. You could tell, they're speaking English. It's somewhere in the United States, somewhere I'm assuming in the lower 48 states. But where, I don't know. Okay, and it opens up. I think there's 2 golf carts. A group, a group. I'm not familiar with golfing, so if I get any terms wrong, you're gonna have to give me a pass on that. They're in 2 golf carts, and they're confronting a man. I believe he's in a green shirt and tan shorts, and he's going bald. He's probably about, I'd say mid-30s, early 30s maybe. Probably mid-30s, mid to late 30s. He doesn't look like he has any graying hair. And apparently, the people that are recording this, the 2 golf carts confronting this man, one of the women hit the golf ball close to him, and then they went to get the golf ball to play the golf ball, and he picked it up, and he refused to give it. This is so childish. I hear myself saying this, and I'm like, I can't believe that a grown person acts this way. But we all make mistakes, right? So he's got the golf ball, and the first thing he says, it opens up, and the guy recording says, "Oh, we've got a Ken here on the golf course." Ken and Karen. And then you hear the guy, the angry guy, or soon to be angry guy. You hear him say, they ask for their golf ball back, and you hear him say, "You'll leave after I don't give you a god darn thing." I'm not going to swear in this video. I got to be very careful now that I've got the strike. So I'm not going to push anything. So I'm not going to say all the swears that he used. Okay, so then I think so. They're just like, give us the golf ball back. Why are you making a big deal of this? And they're going back and forth. And this is what I think set him off. The person recording it says, "Dude, if you need a golf ball that bad, I'll buy you one." And that's a good insult. When a guy's saying that to another guy, it makes it sound like he doesn't have any money, like he doesn't have a good job, that he's poor. It's from a guy to a guy. That's a pretty good dig. And right after that, he flips out. So I think that's what set him off. I think that was the last straw for him. So he's holding on to this woman's golf ball because it was hit close to him. And he wants them to go away and leave him alone, and he's keeping her. And apparently, I don't know if they're kidding, but apparently, in both these articles, it said the golf ball means a lot to this woman. So maybe it's her lucky golf ball, or she got it for a birthday present or something. But I don't play golf, so I don't know. And then he freaking loses it. He strips his shirt off, and this is what he said. And then he goes like that. Watch. The algorithm is going to pick that picture to use for my thumbnail. He rips the shirt off, and you hear the guy say, "Here we go," and then it gets scary. It almost gets scary. This guy loses his mind, and I'm assuming that he doesn't really have mental health issues. And he goes, and he's got a flabby gut, really, and his boobs are hanging down. I mean, honestly, it looks like he started working, like he works out. Maybe he's one of those guys that I've seen at the gym that goes in there, takes 15 minutes to set up his iPod. He talks to his buddies in there. He probably does about 10 reps here, 10 reps there. Leaves after 40 minutes. He probably got a couple curls in, if that. And it looks like he's barely worked out, but in his mind, I think he looks a lot different, because he looks down at himself, like, look at that. And he says that. He says, this is what he says after he strips his shirt off. He says, I'll plant you, B-boy. Now get off the cart. This is right at the moment when he starts to freak out. The gears in his mind are starting to strip right there, and he says, "Get off the cart. I'll plant you, B-boy." Then he strips the shirt off, and he starts flexing, and he looks down at himself. And this is where it's just hilarious, assuming that he doesn't have mental health issues. He looks down at himself, and he says, "See that, dude? That's a dude that's been to heaven, bitch, and you want to test God?" That's what he does. So he looks down and he says, "That's a dude that's been to heaven. You want to test God?" And then the people are like, "Oh my God!" The first group hops in the cart and starts to take off, and the second group starts up too, because this guy's out of his freaking mind. You look at his face, and I'll use the pictures on the thumbnail. He is, like I said, his gears are stripping right there. He says, "You effing come and get it." And this is where it almost gets funny. "You effing come and get it. Stack. SH blank T stack." Is that like a stack of pancakes? It doesn't sound very appetizing. If it is, I don't know. What is a S stack? Maybe it's a farm term. I don't know. Do cows leave S stacks out in the field? I don't know. I don't think it's a golfing term. And then as the carts are driving away, he says, been to heaven, leave me alone. And the carts, and he's flipping the shirt behind his neck. All right, let me give you, this is my first impression of what we have here. I don't think this man, I'm serious here, I don't think this man is actually angry. What I see is somebody that's scared. I honestly see somebody, I'm not kidding around, I see somebody that's scared. This guy doesn't want to fight. This guy is a guy that is terrible. This is a guy that doesn't have a lot of self-confidence. He doesn't want to fight. What he's trying to do here, he's been going to the gym, obviously, and you know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of, how a cobra, it's a snake, the cobra comes out of its basket or whatever, and it flares the hood, and it's got like the sign on the back. It's got that V, the cobra snake. And the reason it does that is to scare its enemies, like the mongoose or whatever. And apparently what I've read is that the symbol on the back, the V, is made to confuse the enemy, the enemy of the snake, to make it think that the snake is looking at them from behind. So that's what I think of when I see this guy. A cobra flexing. It's not that he's any cobra or anything. But it's a show. That's all this is. It's a show of fear, really. For somebody that's been, like I said, I'm not bragging here, but I've been in plenty of altercations, and this isn't how it goes. When you have two people that are, one thing I've learned not to do is just talk smack. One of the things, I've talked about this before, you'll never, I don't do it, and I wouldn't recommend anybody does it to me. You see how two guys get face to face, right, nose to nose, you ever see people do that? That's something I've learned never to do. And if somebody does that to me, I headbutt them, and I've gotten scars here to prove it. Two people that are actually throwing down, that are gonna fight, that are gonna scrap, don't do this. You don't talk smack. I've learned you don't push the other person. You don't put any hands on the other person. You don't say anything. You go, man. You go. You swing, and then you don't stop swinging until one of you's on the ground. That's two people that know how to fight and that are willing to fight. This is not that case. This is somebody that is scared. Like I said, what he's doing there is just, he's trying to, in his mind, I think, he thinks he looks impressive. I think, and he obviously thinks he looks a lot more when he's flexing like that, and you see him look down at himself. And like I said, it reminds me so much of like a cobra, a defanged, overweight cobra, flexing its hood. This isn't somebody that would actually fight. I have no doubt in my mind. He has no skill, no anything. It's a scared man. The whole thing about God, I don't know. I really think this person is one of those Christian nationalists, that believe that he's righteous and all this other stuff. I was just thinking about this the other day, Christian nationalism and all that, and how selfish like Trump supporters and Christian nationalists are, about not wanting refugees or Ukrainian people to move in here. The whole thing with the budget, the whole thing with schools, like not wanting other people's tuition, like to be forgiven. On the road today, I always have people with Trump flags, and the big trucks push me off the road or blow smoke on me from the trucks, like they don't want to share the road with bicyclists. They hate bicyclists. It's the fact that they call themselves Christians is just it's so ridiculous. So I really get the feeling that this is that it's somewhere in his mind. He thinks that maybe he goes to church once a week, he goes to the gym once a week, and he is righteous in God's eyes, and he is ready to chew gum and kick ass, and he's all out of gum. I think that's what's going on in his head. But what I honestly see is somebody that's scared, without a doubt. That doesn't excuse his behavior at all. It's psychotic behavior. And here's an idea. Why not just give the ball back? Why not just say, hey, that was kind of close? If they hit it close to him, just say, hey, that was kind of close to me, man. And the people would probably say, sorry, we didn't mean to do that, and give the ball back, and the day would go on like normal. Why not? Why? Why do people... I don't know if people are getting worse. I don't know if this has to do with the whole Trumpism MAGA thing or what? Because that's what it seems like. Like these Trumpers feeling like they're taking back their entitlement, that they're being mistreated. That's what it seems like. And that's what I think. That's what I see here. And then at the end when he says he's been to heaven, and then he actually says, "Leave me alone," and that right there is what I'm talking about. This guy is scared. He's scared. If it was somebody that actually wanted to scrapping over, getting in a fight over a freaking golf ball, I don't know, but he wouldn't be doing it from so far away. If it was somebody that really wanted to inflict harm on them, he would get them closer. He'd say, "Come here, let's talk about it," or here's your ball, to get the person closer to them. You can't fight anybody when the other person's 10, 15 feet away in a golf cart. This is somebody that does not want to fight. I think he's terrified of fighting, and I think he feels insecure, and there's nothing wrong with that. I remember feeling like that for a long time. I remember being terrified. I was scared to death of ever actually hitting somebody, and then the first time I did it, it came way too easy after that. It came way too easy. And for the last 17 years, that's one of the vices, that's one of the issues that I've been trying to get away from, to help myself to stop doing. It's one of the hardest things I've had to deal with now that I have all my emotions back. Anyway, enough about me. Check out the video. Check out the guy losing his mind. Like I said, I'm making this video because I don't think he has mental health issues. So, all right, man. 2 or 3 days before I get on Artists in Recovery. I hope there's more stories like this, man. I wish I could have put this on Artists in Recovery. Have a good Thursday or Friday.